I'm Max, and welcome to my the second episode of the Max BB podcast. Thanks for all the new follows. Please don't forget to share with your friends and family too. On today's pod, I have the chairman and coach on my footy club, Mr. Ian Whitehead. He's also my mate's Courier's dad and a massive Wednesday fan. So, welcome Ian, how are you?
I'm alright, Max, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks as always. I'm going to ask a few questions first and then we can talk about Wednesday.
Good.
So, what did you want to be when you were a kid?
What did I want to be when I was a kid? Oh, God, right. I was a pretty decent golfer when I was a kid. And I always thought that one day might be on telly playing golf, but unfortunately I weren't good enough. And I played football for Sheffield, for my school team. I played cricket, I was captain of my school team. Yeah. So I was very sporty, but golf was the one what I really liked. But unfortunately I didn't make it.
So what's your day job?
My day job, well, talking about golf, my day job, I'm a head greenkeeper at Leeds Hall Golf Club. So obviously the golf, it's all golf orientated. So yeah, that's what I do. I look after the golf course on a daily basis.
Cool. So next one, this should be a good one. Favourite band?
My favourite band, oh God, I've got a lot of favourite bands, but I would say the one what stands out, I was brought up when I was your age, were probably Simple Minds and Ep2. But obviously I was doing a lot of Sheffield bands. They were Human League, they were ABC, all stuff like that. So, but yeah, I don't mind a bit of Oasis, bit of Def Leppard. I've got a bit of a range. But yeah, my two favourite bands when I grew up when I was your age were Simple Minds and U2.
Classics, proper Yorkshire. So, favourite current song, and this has to be current.
My favourite current song. Flipping out, Mike, you've put me on the spot here. I don't even know any current songs. Give me a clue. Give me a clue what's in charts. Is there any charts anymore? Is there any charts, is there?
I think there is.
What's number one in charts?
Well, I don't know this exact moment. But...
I don't know, Max. I really ain't got a clue what my favourite song would be at minute because, like I said, I listen to a lot of music. But I won't be able to tell you what's in charts at the minute because all that's gone now, I think, isn't it now? But
yeah.
What's number one? Come on, Max, you must know.
Yeah. So number one at this current moment in time is We Don't Talk About Bruno.
Oh, that's my favourite song then. That's it. That's the number one song.
No,
who sings that, by the way?
Gathan Castillo.
Well, I know him well anyway, so that's all right.
Yeah, just in case you want to listen to anyone else, I'm going to recommend you listen to Frankie B. Beatles songs at Sober Again. He's my current favourite at the minute.
I've never heard of him, Max. Does he play on tram lines? Is he in there? No.
Well, no. He's apparently the next big up and coming young Sheffield artist.
Right, I'll look out for him then.
Yeah. So let's hope he does get into tram lines.
Yeah. Good luck to him.
So, what do you think of me doing this podcast?
I think it's a great idea. I think putting yourself out there with all your disabilities and everything else, and I think it's absolutely. We've listened to your first one today. Listened to your introduction last week. I think it's brilliant what you're doing, Max.
No, thank you. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, right then. Wednesday.
Oh dear.
So I like positivity, and obviously I support the boys, regardless win, lose or draw. They're my team, and that's just what it is. I'm only 15, so I haven't experienced the glory days. I'm hoping they return though.
Me too.
So let's see what you think. What do you think about the current situation being in League One?
I don't think there's much we can do about that, is there? We've just hopefully, fingers crossed, we might, if we're scraping playoffs this season and we go up, that's all we can hope for, really. I think it's as good as we're going to get. It's disappointing we're in League One, but I think we just have to accept it a minute and keep us fingers crossed that good times, whenever they'll be, will come back again.
Yeah, hopefully.
I feel sorry for you kids because you weren't really, probably apart from playoff final at Wembley, I don't think you've really seen any good times. So hopefully, for your sake, you see them.
Yeah, fingers crossed too. Let's hope so. So, this one caused a lot of controversy. Is Darren Moore the man for the job?
Oh, yeah, I see the wrong person here. I would have said Max a few weeks ago. I would have said probably not. But I get that. I realise now, looking at it, that we had a lot of injured players like Luongo and Hutchinson weren't playing, and I did give him a bit of stick, to be fair. But I think looking at how they played now, they're back. I think they make a lot of difference. So I suppose at this moment in time, I've got to say, yeah, he's the man. Whether he's the right man long term, I've no idea. But I think at this moment in time, I think he'll do.
What do you think? Yeah. Well, I think. Yes. Same as you. You know, I think. You have to obviously deal with loads of injuries, and I do think people like Luongo, what they make us stronger, and you could see when we lost him and we lost his back line that we did struggle, and it wasn't a surprise for me that we conceded so many goals because we haven't got the height. We haven't had the eye, and that's what for me were the main reason.
I think it's organisation as well. I think they were players playing out of position, and it weren't their fault. Like Marvin Johnson were playing centre half. He's not really a centre half, is he?
No.
Liam Palmer's not really a centre half, but he's doing all right.
Yeah.
But they need somebody alongside him, and the new kid's story, what's coming, he looks all right, and Hutchinson's back now. He controls everything. And it's either Palmer or hopefully Ollie Dean won't be out too long, and then we can get that. But the defence does look better, and I think Will Luongo playing, or even George Byers will play it the other night. I think Bannon plays, even though Bannon probably had a great game the other night. I think it makes him play. It gives him a bit more freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, so the next one, we've just been talking about it, is of course the injuries we sustained on Tuesday. Yeah, they're really bad, aren't they?
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, Ollie Dean lasted about 5 minutes. That John Jules didn't even turn up. He's injured long term, it says. Dalbashiri went off. Hopefully, Gregory, I've heard on Grapevine, Max, I've heard on Grapevine from one of my sources that Gregory could be back next week, so that'll be a bit of a bonus. Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, they were talking the other day that there's obviously the last 2 or 3 years there've been over 40 players injured. Now that's massive, and all right. You can't blame managers for that. You can't blame training regimes and things like that and physios because they all bring their own backroom teams in and they've all got their different training regimes. So if it were one person doing it, you could blame it. But there's been 3 or 4 managers what suffered with all these injuries. And I personally, I was talking about before we come on. I think it's training ground. I think it's different to the actual pitch. I think it's an old training ground now, and I think that wants really digging up and rebuilding and starting again.
Next thing, Chancery.
Chancery.
What? Well, if we have to, to talk, what's your thoughts on him?
Well, again, like with Dan and Moore, in a way, it is what it is at the minute, isn't it? There's not really a lot we can do about it. If he sells club and we get another owner, and you don't know who you're going to get these days. So I mean, if he sells it and gets another owner who has got 5 times as much money as him and puts more money in, but there's no guarantee of success. Look at Newcastle; they've just got new owners. They're spending a lot of money. There's going to be a lot of pressure on them. They might not survive. They might not survive Premier League. So it's at the minute, it is what it is. I'm not saying he's my favourite person, but he's still here until he goes. Then we won't know how good he is until he's probably gone.
So I'm gonna switch around a bit. So choose his man of the match and why.
Choose his man of the match. My man of the match, I would have thought, was Hutchinson. I think he controlled it. He controlled the back three. I think if it hadn't been for him, they'd have probably scored it in the last 5 minutes. Them 2 clearances off at line. I think he were very patient in his play. He were moving forward, and he were knocking some good crossfield balls in. I think George Byers had a good game, but I think, to be fair, Hutchinson, he stood out for me.
Yeah. And just his commitment to the club, that's why we love him. And
I hope he stays, Max. I hope he has another season, because even if we're still in League One, I think we need players like that, to be fair.
Yeah, for definite. So, where do you think we'll finish in the league this season?
Where do you think we'll... Well, I hope in top 6. I mean, I hope and pray we do. And I think if we did, I think with a fully fit squad, I think we'd have a decent chance in playoffs, to be fair, over 2 legs and then final. I think I'd fancy his chances, but I think we're too far off top 2 now, unless we've got to go on maybe a 10-match unbeaten run and probably win 8 of them 10 games. Can't see that happening, but if we did, you never know what can happen, can you? There's a lot of games left, a lot of points to play for. Yeah. And there's always a team what comes through and comes up. We're not on a bad run at the minute. We're not conceding a lot of goals. So touch wood.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, for me though, I just don't see teams like it. Plymouth slipping up. I think I heard they got when they're back in league action, they've got Crew, and unfortunately,
they always. But the thing is, they always, though some teams are always going to have a bad run, and maybe if they haven't had their bad run, as Wednesday had their bad run, possibly when they lost to Sunderland and Plymouth and whoever when we played them in FA Cup and stuff like that, we lost to Oxford the other week. We need to go on a good run, and Sunderland, they're having a bit of a dip now. Wickham up and down. Rotherham is probably the only one what's probably really playing as good as they can and stopping up there. But I don't know. It's not all lost yet, but wins. If you look at it, I think we've drawn 10. Draws are no good. Draws are no good at all. We've got to turn them draws into wins. And like I say, next 10, we've got next. Is it 3 games at home? Well, literally after next 4 at home, so we've got to be going for 7 points from next 3 games at home, aren't we, easily?
Yeah, defo. I agree with that one. So, who was your best player from the gold? All right, well, I won't call it the golden era, but from the very successful.
So my favourite player from watching. Well, I first started watching him, Mike, so a long time ago. It was 1979. So I suppose players like Terry Curran were always there. Were always a decent player. Then it got into when Howard Wilkinson were manager. You got players like Gary Bannister, you got Imre Verardi. A lot of players. Then you got into early 90s where you got Chris Waddle and John Sheridan, Roland Nielsen, Carlton Palmer. I could go on, Paul Wilderness. I could go on and on and on and on. Chris Woods, even though he let us down in that second leg at semi-final against Arsenal. But my favourite overall Wednesday player has got to be David Hirst.
Yeah, I think watching from video clips, we were just the the complete striker, weren't he?
Yeah, I mean, you watch some of his goals. That goal against United at Bramall Lane when they drew 1-1. That was just a classic David Hirst goal, one touch, and before anybody knew it was back at net. And I've seen him score some great against Aston Villa when they lost 3-2 at Hillsborough. I think it was first game back into Division 1, which were Premiership now. First 5 minutes, he put one in top corner. Seen him score 4 at Hillsborough against Hull. He was just, no messing. He was just direct, straightforward, fantastic left foot, and he knew where back at net were.
Yeah, I think for definite we could do so with someone like him now, 100%.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it were only, to be fair, with Hirst, it were only sort of Steve Bold, an Arsenal player, what had a bad tackle on him and damaged his ankle ligaments, and he was never the same player. And when he started off playing for England, and when Alan Shearer playing for England, but the talk was not who's going to play with Alan Shearer for England, they were going to partner David Hirst, and then that injury took over. He played one game, I think, for England, and that were it, and he was never the same player.
Yeah. Go on then, we'll talk about the current favourite Wednesday player. So, who at this point in time would you say is your favourite current Wednesday player?
Oh God, Mike, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
I do like Sam Hutchinson. I've got to admit, I think he plays with heart on his sleeve. I don't like Lee Gregory. I think he's another one. I like players that work hard, who can get stuck in, and who knows and who's playing for badge. To be fair, so I think at the minute, if I pick one, I'd probably have to say Hutchinson, but Gregory would be probably a very close second. I mean, I like Bannon, but I think Bannon gets all plaudits anyway, and I think it's nice to look at how they play. I watch how they play and how they work for the team, and I think a lot of people would probably say Barry Bannon, but my two would be Hutchinson and Gregory.
Yeah.
What's yours?
I would definitely say Sammy, because for me, say if we can see that I always look for leaders, who was like geeing him up, who's like reacting, and Sammy's the one who's him constantly.
What do you think about Bannon, Max?
My opinion on Bannon is I think we do rely on him too much.
Yeah,
and I
agree.
Yeah, and I think over the past few seasons, it's been Bannon or bust.
Yeah, I think I think as well when he plays a bit deep, he's worse when he plays a bit deeper because he's not going forward enough, and I think he slows, not probably intentionally, but I think he slows play down by him playing a bit deeper because he comes for the ball and he's got his back to goal. Then he has to turn and then look where he's going to go, and then maybe his easy outlet ball is back to defence again, and he needs to be putting them balls further forward, and like he did the other night for George Byers to get his goal, lays it across. That's where he needs to be. He don't need to be playing in front at back three, and that's where Luongo makes him play better because he'll get stuck in and he'll whip ball back, and Bannon then he'll make the play.
Yeah, exactly. I think just on Mass, I think he's won the Player of the Month again.
He has,
yeah. Is
It's important, Mike. It's important.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, touch wood, he stays injury free again. I don't think he's injured now. I know he didn't play all the night, but I think he just, because they've got that many games coming up, they rested him. So that's can only be a good thing. And maybe I'd rather see him play against Wigan and Rotherham, which are going to be bigger, important games, than probably Morecambe on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, so, I think, I think for, especially obviously the burst in the Morecambe game, I think Burton will be a different challenge, but what we're gonna do against the Burtons and the Morecambe is it's because obviously we're gonna have loads of possession, and we've got what you want from that is you want to move it quick, and I think and I think we were right behind his goal, and I just think Byers had a really good game, and I do think he deserves to be given
I think chance. So. I think Burton game will be similar to Oxford game, and they made a bit of a mess of that, being 2-1 up and then they lost 3-2. When you go away these little clubs what I say is they're fighting for their lives, and they're playing Wednesday with supposedly the bigger team, and it's their cup final every time, and it's up to Wednesday to dig in and work hard and not let them back in, because if they get back in and fans get behind them, then, like I say, against Oxford, Wednesday should have been out of sight in that first half against Oxford. They should have been out of sight, and they should have been 3 or 4-0 up, and they wouldn't have been no problem at all. They've got to start killing teams off away from home, because that's where they'll lose out on playoffs or whatever. Is probably their away form.
Yeah, when I went on the DBH last night, the Wednesday till I podcast, that's what one of the listeners said, and me and Mum we talked about it. If you can draw your away games and win your win
your own games,
that'll send you in good stead. Yes, I'm moving away from Wednesday. I want to talk a bit about the Hornets now for a bit. So why do you do it, and how did the club came about?
Why do I do it? Because I love it, Mike. So that's why I do it. It come about, what we've been going now about 16 months, haven't we? You know as much as anybody. We were probably 5 or 6 players, and you were one of them, Max, in Hillsborough Park. On a cold October, with 5 kids running around thinking what we're going to do, and all of a sudden, within probably a month, we'd got 20 kids. And we were like, dear, what we're going to do now? So we obviously got in touch with Wisewood Sports Centre, where we train now on outdoor pitches. And we've got over, 30 odd kids, 40 kids probably now. We're minis, minis, under 12s, under 16s, and we've probably become the biggest junior disability team in Sheffield.
Yeah, no. Well, I think for me, I think it was just that, we needed a club, and then through obviously your and mum tremendous. We decided to create the reason why I said the Hillsborough Hornets is because we obviously live in Hillsborough, and then we got the name from Watford. So that's when they're called the Hornets.
Yeah, that's why we've got a yellow kit. Okay. Hillsborough Hornets. Yeah, we're all, lots of us are from this from Hillsborough, around that Sheffield 6 area, but there's other kids what come from others, which is great to see, to be fair, and it's good to have all them kids now. It's good to see them enjoying what they do. Some of them kids have never accessed mainstream football, and they'll probably never will do, and it's not that's not a fault of theirs or anything. It's just the way grassroots football is, I suppose, and it's great to see on a Saturday morning all them kids with smiling faces doing something they enjoy, keeping them fit, keeping them mentally strong. It's great.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Do you enjoy it, Max?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love coming for the arriving there. You know, coming in, getting stuff up, having a bit of bounce and stuff with the guys. You know, I think that's what makes it, and playing at the sport that we love, it just makes it even better, and that's what makes it.
But
enjoyable.
I think you'll do well as well, Max, because there's a few of your under 16s what come early, and they help with the under 12s, they help with the minis. So again, for you, that's a good learning curve on maybe if you want to do a bit of coaching in future. You can see what. I mean, we're not Pep Guardiola or all like that, but we try as best. We're all volunteers, and we try and coach as good as we can. And where I'm hoping that it rubs off on you a little bit, and you can see how we doing, and that gives you into a bit of coaching.
And that could, yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping to obviously get into. Obviously, when I go to Hillsborough at the end of this year, you know, it's going to take a lot of grafting, a lot of hard work, but you know, with hard working, if you work hard, then you get success. So
exactly,
you know,
and hopefully in about 5 years' time, I can retire and you can take over from me, and I can come and stand and watch you lot.
Yeah, well, that's what the plan is. I mean,
yeah, good. I'm glad we've got a plan, Max. I'm glad we've got a plan.
No, because we want to get rid of that too easy. But
well, you won't get rid. You'll never get rid of me, Max. You'll never get rid of me. But it'd be nice for you young ones to, once you get a little bit older, another couple of years' time, to start coaching, and maybe you'll be in it. Maybe we'll start an adult team. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, a little bit of coaching, and which would be great for you lot.
Yeah, no, I'm yeah, no, that's the I'm ambition, and yeah, hopefully, you know, we can get there, and let's hope that, you know, in the future we can you know, just you know, continue to improve and just keep doing his best year on year.
Yeah, hopefully we can grow a little bit more, and we can get a few more players in, maybe get some extra teams in. With under 12s, and we get minis will get a little bit older, so age groups will move up a little bit more. It's all about progressing and moving forward, and I think that's what we're all about, and we just want to get all these kids involved in playing football.
So I'm.
Don't ask me, by the way, who's my favourite Hornets player?
No. So I'm going to ask this to every person that comes on the pod. So you don't win everything. So there's no money or anything involved. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
You know, that's always disappointing to some people, but yeah, so I went with everything. So just for the bragging rights. So I want you to write down your predictions. So firstly, who's gonna win the World Cup this year? Obviously, it's in Qatar in December.
Is it right? Who's gonna win World Cup? Right, I've done that.
Cool. And secondly, which team will be promoted to the championship this season?
Which team will be promoted to the championship?
Yeah, from
done that.
Cool. Thank you very.
And what do we win if I get them right, Max? Nothing.
No, you just win the
bragging rights.
Yeah, you just win bragging rights, basically.
Cool.
So, is there anything you want to ask me?
I would just like to tell you that you're doing a fantastic job doing this. You know, I've known you quite a while now from football teams, from Hillsborough Hornets and everything else. I think you're a fantastic kid. I think you're doing the right thing in promoting these disabilities, and there's nothing wrong with that. You see, you've got to be proud of who you are, and that's not a question I'm asking you. I'm just telling you that's what I think of you, and I think you're a fantastic kid, and we all love you to bits. And well done for doing this.
No, thank you. Honestly, it's generally appreciated. So, thanks, Ian, for joining me today. I really hope that you've enjoyed it as well.
I've really enjoyed it, Max. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you. So, yeah. So, don't forget to follow me and subscribe to the podcast. And remember, there's a new episode out every Wednesday. Why? Because we're all Wednesday, aren't we?
We're all Wednesday, aren't we?
We're all Wednesday. So, thank you guys, and you'll be listening to Max and guest Mr. Ian Whitehead on the Max BB podcast. Thank you all for listening, and see you next time.
Max, that's good. You do honestly, and I meant what I said. You're doing right well.